On this month's Gala, girls, we're going to do a twist on the traditional Valentine's Day cocktail party. So instead, we're going to give you the tools to throw a Valentine's Day party for two.
But a realistic party for two, because every 5 out of 7 Valentine's Day fall on a work night when you get home from work. So we're going to start with a scrumptious meal, steak, potatoes, vegetables, finish it off with a great dessert, cheesecake lollipops, a fantastic cocktail, and of course our entertainment, and even watch a movie Gala Girl style.
Fabulous. Valentine's Day is all about love and friendship, so no matter who you're going to spend it with, make sure your party's a special one.
Welcome to the cocktail segment of our Party for Two.
Yay!
Yes. Well, sort of researching this and looking for a good cocktail idea, I came up with a couple of fun and flirty sort of Valentini sort of things. And while discussing this with my husband, asking him if it would make him feel flirty, he told me it absolutely would not. And he was afraid that some of that stuff might actually challenge his masculinity.
There's some scary stuff out there, actually.
Yeah. So together we sort of worked up a cocktail for Valentine's Day. It is still sort of sensual, but it involves tequila.
Yay.
So it's sort of a play on a tequila sunrise, but it's really fun and it tastes really good and it looks kind of funky.
It does.
So you start out with 2 cups of orange juice and then you add a cup of tequila.
Yep.
And what I have found is that the more aged tequilas, the ones that tend to cost a little bit more, are actually better. They're more mellow, sort of like we are now that we're a little older.
This hurts.
This isn't quite the Cuervo shots of my college days. And so party in a glass won't really be a party in my head tomorrow morning. So
we're calling this love in a glass, right?
Exactly.
Not tequila sunrise, but love in a glass.
Yes, absolutely. So Jen has poured the tequila into the orange juice and she's mixing it up. You have the ice in the glasses ready to go. And so she's going to pour that in. And then we go with the fabulous Chambord. Who knew it came in such a fancy bottle? And what you do is you pour about 1/2 of a shot of the Chambord into the glass. And this is where you're sort of going to see your funky sunrise kind of colors. Watch it fall to the bottom. It's actually very neat. So let's do that. And again, it tastes really good. It's still fun for you, but it's not going to make your husband worry about himself, which is nice. Although I wonder about him all the time.
He's not going to worry about himself. That's always good. A little bit more in there.
There we go.
Pull this one up just a little bit more. Don't want to short anyone.
And then we're going to garnish with a sprig of mint, just for a little color, and a blackberry. Also fun and flirty.
Nothing says flirty like a blackberry.
Exactly. So here we go. And I'm going to invite my other Gala girls in to join us for our party in a glass.
We will never turn a...
There you are, my friend.
Oh, thank you. Yes.
So here we go.
Pretty. Looks awesome.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers. Happy Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day.
Ooh. Yum!
Yummy, yummy, yummy.
This is really good. And you know what I like about this is you think that Valentine's Day has got to be like, champagne or wine. I kind of like it that it's got tequila. It's a Valentine's Day cocktail with a twist.
Yeah, and it'll set the mood.
Love it, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, ready for dinner?
I'm ready.
Alrighty. Well, the best part about this dinner, as we talked about beforehand, is that it's quick. I mean, you get home, you don't have a lot of time, let's get dinner done.
All right.
And as Jocelyn previously mentioned about husbands and their masculinity, this one is sure to please. You got your basic steak, potato, and vegetable.
Red meat and tequila.
No, but really it's wonderful. And it's a very easy marinade and it's very easy prep. So this is how I would do it if it were moi or you, either
Absolutely.
one. So what I would do is the night before I'd marinate the steak. This is a great marinade, very easy, that you can do either overnight or at least an hour beforehand. So take yourself a big old Ziploc bag and in it put about 1/3 of a cup of olive oil. Then we've chopped up some garlic, 3 cloves of garlic. You can mince it, you can crush it, whichever makes, yeah, throw it in. And also I took about 3 or so sprigs of rosemary, which is always great for steak. Throw that in there as well.
Steak and lamb, right? Rosemary?
Always. Oh, okay. Love rosemary.
Okay.
And then, now here's what's the most important part, the 2 different parts. There's 2 peppers that go in this. There's the crushed red pepper, so just throw in a couple of in there.
Very, very exact.
Scientific,
okay.
Yeah. It depends on how much heat you like. It's not going to really make your steak spicy, so don't worry. And then what's next is the black peppercorns, whole black peppercorns. What we did,
peppercorns.
we took about 3 tablespoons of them, put them in between some paper towels, and whacked them with a mallet till they were crushed. Someone said, why can't you just use regular pepper? I don't know. I'm just being honest with you. Something about the freshly cracked really does a great job with this steak and makes it so easy. So in they go to the Ziploc bag, and then boom, you got your marinade. What I did is, you can do any kind of steak. We happen to be Valentine's Day, so it's not a great time for grilling. This is really more of a pan-seared steak, so you want to go with a thinner cut, but it doesn't have to be an expensive cut. I've done this with London broil before, which when I was first living and single, I thought, oh, London broil, that sounds very exotic and fabulous. Yeah. It's a very tough steak.
Yeah.
This marinade, however, you smush it around. See how great it looks?
Yeah.
Just smush it around the steak, and actually, before you put it in the refrigerator to marinate, you actually want to take all the air out of it so that it really sears and pulls onto the steak itself. And it looks beautiful. It's beautifully green, fabulous. It's got a great aroma to it, very herby and garlicky and whatever, and it really does a wonderful job tenderizing the steak so that you don't have to. So basically, you don't have to spend a fortune on your steak to have a fabulous steak.
So we marinate this for how long?
We're going to marinate this for, I'd like to say overnight, but if you don't have time for it, you can certainly do it an hour. But before we put this in the fridge, we have one last thing to do, and this you do before right as you get home. The baked potato. Everybody forgets about it. So easy. Staple of our childhood.
Right, exactly.
Are you Irish?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did we grow up with baked potatoes? Yeah. All the time? Everybody forgets about it. All you got to do is clean the potato, stick it with a fork, and throw it in your oven an hour before you want to eat or so. It gets so wonderful. It makes your house smell delicious.
It does.
And you got a baked potato an hour later. That's all you do. Nothing else. That's it.
Okay,
so let's put this in the fridge, and then we'll talk to you about what we're doing over at the stove in a little bit. Okay, so we've taken our steak out of the marinade, which is looking wonderful, by the way. And you just want to make sure that you have a skillet based on very high heat. Make sure the skillet's nice and hot. You can feel it with your hand when you put your hand over it. Take this gorgeous steak out. And it's going to sizzle. And listen to it, it's just going to sizzle in the pan like this. What we're going to do is let it sear on each side for about 3 minutes, depending on the size of your steak. Oh my God, it smells delicious, delicious. So 3 minutes on each side, we're going to flip it, and then the most important part is take it off, put it on a cutting board, and then tent it with tin foil. That's the most important part. You want to let this steak rest for at least 5 minutes. The juices will join back up before you cut it. Oh, yum. Okay, so the steak is ready. We're going to take it off. Oh, looks gorgeous. Put it on a nice cutting board over here. And then you're going to take a little bit of tin foil and tent this over it. Make sure that it's nice and secure so none of the steam escapes, because we want the juices to rise back up to the surface of the steak before we cut it. Now with this pan, you can see you've got some gorgeous little marinade here that's been done a nice job of caramelization in the pan. What we're going to add to it is any kind of vegetable that you'd like. This is literally going to take you 2 seconds tops, 2 minutes rather, tops. So we chose broccoli for tonight, but you could certainly do asparagus. Any type of raw vegetable. You don't want to cut it beforehand. Just chop it up. In the pan it goes. Swish it around so that it gets some of that great steak marinade on it that you've had before. And it's a quick little stir fry for it. Let it sit here for 2 minutes tops, and then put it on your plate. And we're ready for the vegetables as well. Okay, we're ready to plate. How easy was that?
Very easy for me. I didn't do anything, but yeah.
We take the tent off. And you want to slice the steak on the bias, which I'm going to be not going to lie to you. I don't normally slice the meat in my family. It's my husband. So I made a rookie attempt. But basically you want to cut it on an angle, which makes it a little bit more tender. And then Alexandra, if you want to start putting some of those on the plates.
I would love to.
And on top of that, we've got our potato. You can cut it in half, cut it again so that it's in fours, and then, ow, hot, push it up so it looks like it's out of a magazine.
It does look like it's in a magazine.
Plop your little condiment of choice on there, butter, sour cream, or both if you're feeling frisky. Da-da-da-da. And there you go.
Wow, dinner for champions. I love it.
And in very little time, gotta admit.
All right, now welcome to the dessert segment of today's Gala Girls event. We're doing a cheesecake lollipops. I know it sounds a little different, but we kind of stole it from a restaurant in New York, maybe? Was
yeah.
That we heard about them doing it?
Yeah, some restaurant in New York does it, and they're apparently a huge hit. And they're cute. They're adorable.
They're adorable. The presentation is priceless. So that's what we're going to do today. Super easy, but it takes a little preparation ahead of time because you have to make the little lollipop balls and put them in the freezer for about an hour. So we're going to show you how to do that.
You can actually do them overnight as well. So
oh, that's a good idea. That's an excellent idea.
So by the way, store-bought cheesecake. Did not make. Yeah. Once again, keeping in the theme of let's not kill ourselves, we all have day jobs. So Jen just took a little scoop of that, and I'm just literally going to roll it around as if you would cookie dough or something. Not too much pressure, not too much hand holding, just so you make it into as best of a ball as you can.
Oh yeah, that works well.
Put it right in there.
All right.
And you make a bunch of them. And then what we did next was these are your wooden skewers that you use on the grill. So we cut them in half so they wouldn't be too obnoxious, and just take them and stick them into the center of each of these bad boys. Then what we're going to do is take them all and freeze them.
Freeze them, and then we'll take them out and we'll show you what we're going to do with them after that.
Perfect. So this is something you can do the night before or an hour before.
That's perfect. So we'll get back to you on the rest of it.
Perfect.
Thanks.
Thanks.
And now we're going to finish up the cheesecake pops that we started earlier. We put them in the freezer and now they're ready to go. So we're going to dip them in chocolate and put them, dip them in some nuts and some candy, and Jocelyn's going to show us a great way to display them. So here we go.
Okay, so this is just a regular frog that we've
Do it with me?
made,
There we go.
molded, and then we've cut carnations very small, and we're going to create sort of a flower ball.
Flower power.
And what we're doing with the cheesecake pops is we melted down some chocolate chips, regular semi-sweet chocolate chips, throw in a tablespoon or two of butter so that it basically melts nicely so that you can dip them in. Cover them with chocolate, and then, oh sorry, and then we've got here some Heath bars and some nuts and some white chocolate chips. And you just take them, dunk them, put them in whatever you want. You could put them in M&Ms. These are some white chocolate chips. Put them back on your tray, and then in the freezer for, I don't know, what, like 5 minutes tops?
Yeah, maybe, at that.
After you've rolled them all out, just so they're solid enough. I would maybe keep them in a little bit longer if you had a little bit more time.
That's true.
So I'll put these back in the freezer and I'll show you the finished results that you can put into what Jocelyn has made. How pretty is that?
Oh my gosh.
Easy.
Wow.
Yep. And
You were
Jocelyn,
fast.
some excellent.
There you go.
And these are beautiful.
Oh, yummy chocolate.
So then you just pop them in there just like that, huh?
How cute is that?
What a cute little edible centerpiece.
I love it.
And then, oh, we have little candy hearts too. You can put around there too.
Oh, good idea.
Don't want to compromise anyone's masculinity, but it is Valentine's Day.
That's right.
How cute.
And there you go.
All right, well, now we're going to wrap up our little Valentine's Day party for two with some party atmosphere. As you might have noticed around here, what we've done is, you know, flowers sort of spread all out everywhere. And yet again, I went with the cheap flowers. I shouldn't say economical.
That's
exactly.
Yes.
cheap. It's a weeknight.
Yes.
Come on.
Frugal. And so what we did was we got some Astrameria and we've used the little vases. This vase actually right here is a champagne flute. Who knew? But it looks pretty nice. And so again, all we're going to do is another couple champagne flutes. And this, those drinks are good, by the way, not for nothing.
Delicious.
Yes.
We're running a little low on champagne.
Yeah. What are you going to do? So throw in a couple Astrameria like this. I also got these really pretty roses that are, they were really, you know, inexpensive.
Shy sprinkled petals.
We're hoping that our husbands spend the extra money on jewelry.
Exactly. Yeah.
If you wonder why we're saving money, that's why.
Exactly. And you know what? What we wanted to do is rather than do one gargantuan arrangement, again, because we're hoping someone might have sent us a gargantuan arrangement, we're going to put these all around the house. So what we can do also, you can take these little sprigs of purple.
I like those.
It's, you know, I think it's called Status.
It's really pretty.
Yeah, and it just, all you need
is texture, almost, you know, almost like a dried flower kind of feel, and with the fresh.
It is, it is. And you know, it'll last forever. And here, I got some greens, and here's a little tip. If you are using greens, you're like, oh, what am I going to do? Stick this whole thing in? You can actually split them in half. What you do is you cut right down to like right there. Ew. And then look, now you have two, and you don't even know the difference. So you put a couple of these in, you put them all around the house, some in the bathroom, perhaps one in the boudoir, but it takes the place of the lame rose petals leading up the stairs.
Oh, I'm expecting those anyway.
I was going to say, yeah.
Candles.
As you slip.
Love is in the eye. I know. Yeah, down you go.
The cat choke.
Nothing says Valentine's Day like a trip to the ER.
I love you, honey. I'm sorry about the stitches. Okay, so there you go. There are your flowers. And again, we have lots of little tea lights around the room. Now, what we wanted to do was kind of a cool party game, but it's very hard to do a party game when there's two people, because one person clearly has the upper hand. So what we did instead was I picked 5 kind of chick flicks, okay? I got Down with Love, The Princess Bride, Serendipity, Bridget Jones' Diary, and Love Actually. A lot of Renee Zellweger, a lot of British films. I don't know why.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah, but what you do is, you let your guest pick the movie. And before you let them pick the movie, you say to them, I want you to write down 10 words that have to do with Valentine's Day. Okay. So it could be, you know, love, Valentine, flowers, candy, rose, whatever. You pick one of them out, and then you say, now pick a movie. They pick a movie, and every time, let's say the word you pick out is love, every time they say love in it, one of you is going to be the pink heart, one is going to be the red heart, and so they say love, and I'm like, love, pink, I get 1 point. So at the end of the movie, however many pink hearts or red hearts are going, wins the greatest prize of all, Russell Stovers. Very easy to buy. You can get them at the grocery store, you can get them at CVS, you can get them anywhere you want. So
everything at CVS.
Honestly, I know. We outfit everything there. And then lastly is, of course, our party soundtrack. We've called this Songs in the Key of Love.
Boy, and let's see.
I know.
It's always fun to see.
Isn't it? Every song has the word love in it. So, Super Duper Love, Joss Stone. Love Comes Back, Jonah Cohen. Real Love, David Gray.
I love you. Who doesn't love Aretha?
Your love is high.
Sunday kind of love. So, you know, this is going to be your soundtrack. And rather than really drippy songs, this was kind of a nice one. Plus, I got to tell you, talk about economical. Every single one of these I had in my playlist already, so I didn't have to pay a nickel for it. Go through your iPod.
Love, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I love, man. I do. I just love it.
I can tell by your movies.
Yeah, I know. Dork. Yes. Yeah. I have to run upstairs now. I have to follow the rose petals. So there you go. There's your Valentine's Day party for 2. Let's invite our other Gala girl in. So thank you for joining us. And again, the most important part about Valentine's Day is that you spend it with somebody you love, whether it is a significant other, a friend,
a sister,
a mother, whoever it is. Just, you know, the important thing is that you have a good time, make your party special. And with that, I say, any excuse for a party.
Cheers.
Cheers.